Welcome to the Yappin podcast. I'm your host, Rafa. Let's start yapping. So as we get down to the final two games of Week 9 of the NFL, we have the Colts and the Vikings 4-4 and 5-2, and tomorrow night we have the Chiefs and Tampa Bay. Both teams that are right at 500 or above 500, obviously, between as the Chiefs are and so are the Vikings. But the rest of the league, what is going on? So as of today, at this game kicking off, the night game of Week 9, we have only 14 teams with a better record, 500, better than 500. So we have some teams at 500, but we have 14 teams with an actual winning record. And we are now halfway through the season. And, we have 9 teams with 2 wins and 11 with 3 or less. Jets and Cowboys both have 3 wins. And I'll go off some of the teams here with 9 wins. Let's go through all of them, actually. We have Carolina with 2 wins, and they won today and beat New Orleans. So we had a couple teams today that actually picked up some wins that had 1 win before. So we have Carolina, and we know the problem with Carolina. Bryce Young, the talent there isn't what we had expected. I think he's just too small. Rookie head coach. Miami, the Tua situation. Tua being hurt. They weren't playing great before that. We feel that they should have more than 2 wins, but they have fucking 2 wins. The Patriots should have had 3 wins, and I want to kind of address that. But look at the Patriots, a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. But today, Drake May, and I'm sure you guys saw it, it was great. Drake May runs a great play there, and I mean, he's there in the pocket, dancing around, moving and grooving for whatever it was, 10, 11, 12, 15 seconds, whatever it was. Throws a touchdown pass, time 0's on the clock. Why not go for 2? You have 2 wins anyways. Like and you're on the road. After that play, the momentum with Drake, the guys all fucking just pumped and excited, and the Titans had to have been down after allowing that play with 0's on the clock. You should have gone for it. So maybe we would have had a team with 3 wins and not 2 in the Patriots. But the Patriots, I think Jordan Miller need to go for 2, but. The Saints, they have Derek Carr, and their head coach, Mr. Allen, should be fired at some point. But Derek Carr, a ton of things going on. The whole Thomas tweets today and all that. But Derek Carr's their quarterback. That's why they're horrible. The Browns had Deshaun Watson, but I watched them today against the Chargers. And Jameis Winston, he's a great character. I love him. Seriously, I would love Jameis Winston as my quarterback. Just not as my starting quarterback on an NFL fucking team.
So you don't want him as your quarterback because he's not going to be playing.
No,
you just want him on the team?
I don't have an NFL team, so he could be my quarterback. So, I mean, he's just he's a phenomenal locker room dude. It's just he can't be your starter. Like watching him last week, the Ravens dropped 3 interceptions, and Kyle Hamilton dropped one to win the game to basically put it away because if they get the interception there, the game's fucking over, right? A couple of kneel downs and it's done. Today, they just had, but on top of Jameis Winston being bad and Deshaun Watson being bad, their O-line was atrocious. Just really bad. Their third down defense today was really bad. I mean, that's how Myles Garrett today, 3 sacks on 3 straight plays. He ended one drive with back-to-back sacks and started the next one with another sack. And then on third and long, they still managed a touchdown. And that happened numerous times today. The Browns are just an overall bad team. And their O-line really, really sucks. Really sucks. And I thought it was just they didn't want to block for Deshaun Watson. No, I don't think they can block. So the Browns at 2 wins, their O-line's terrible. Vegas, no quarterback, and I think Antonio Pierce in way over his head. Vegas needs a quarterback bad. I mean, they have Brock Bowers as a star of the future. Max Crosby is a superstar, top 3 or 4 defensive linemen in the league. And that's just going to go to waste, obviously, for them. Let's hope they don't waste Brock Bowers in the future. So they need a quarterback, and I think they should move on from head coach, in my opinion. The Giants have Daniel Jones, so that's just atrocious to watch. That and their GM, it just sucks. The Jags have the second most overpaid because Deshaun number 1, but Trevor Lawrence is the second most overpaid quarterback in the league. He's atrocious. I've said this for a long time. And then the Titans have Will Levis. That's just, most of these teams all have quarterback issues. A couple have head coach and quarterback issues. But for the most part, I think the only team on this list with 2 wins that can get a pass and a pass the way we're talking about it would be the Patriots. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. The expectations weren't high there. Miami had huge expectations. At Carolina as well, there's no expectations there. The Saints, you have to have some expectations, right? You went out and paid a bunch of money to Derek Carr a couple years ago. The Browns had expectations. They made the playoffs last year with Joe Flacco. The Jags should have been competing for the AFC South, fucking 2 wins. The Giants, 2 years removed from the playoffs. Daniel Jones missed most of last year. You could have said that might have been the issue there. But no, the issue is Daniel Jones. He's just fucking terrible. And then the Titans. The Titans just suck. I mean, Will Levis is not good. They won today with Mason Rudolph. The game that they won in Miami was, if you watch the game on Monday night in Miami, Will Levis is in the game. The game's going, they're doing absolutely nothing. Will Levis gets hurt. Mason Rudolph comes in. They win the game. I mean, he just puts some drives together and they end up winning the game. So, but for the most part, seems like quarterback and head coaches in a couple of these teams. And then the other teams that have 3 wins are the Jets and the Cowboys. These are all the 2-win teams. Jets and the Cowboys have 3 wins. Watching the Cowboys today is disgusting to watch. And I think there's a lot of selfishness on CeeDee Lamb's part. I think Mike McCarthy's terrible. Like, something bothered me today with CeeDee Lamb. Like, he gets hurt. Supposedly he had a shoulder issue. It's fine. And you could tell the shoulder was bothering him. So he's out the game. All of a sudden, Cooper Rush, and they're in there, with like just, basically backups at this point, right? And so they're in there. Cooper Rush is in there, quarterback, and they get the ball, and they're like at the 5 or the 6 yard line or whatever. And all of a sudden, CeeDee Lamb's in the game. Like, oh, there's a touchdown opportunity. This man is now in the game. Where the fuck were you the last 2 drives when we're trying to get down there? Like, if I'm a Cowboys fan, that's what I'm thinking. Like, where the fuck were you? You were hurt? No, you were standing on the sideline grimacing. Yes, because you are hurt. But if you're hurt, stay the fuck out of the game. I know he came in as a decoy. No, he didn't, because he expected to get the ball, and he got the ball on the 2-point conversion. So, but the coaching is pretty bad if we're watching. The quarterback play is really bad. And you know what I don't get? I don't get this in the NFL. And these guys are supposedly a lot smarter than I am. And there's fucking 9 teams with 2 fucking wins, so I don't think you really are. But hey, you did the work and you got the job. But what is the point of you being down 14, scoring a touchdown, going for 2, right? And then getting it. Hypothetical, you get it. You're down 6. You still need to kick the extra point to win the game at the end. What is the difference of scoring the touchdown, kicking the extra point, being down 7, and then when you score, if you end up scoring, to then you go for 2 to win the game? What is the point of doing it beforehand? Because if you miss, you're now down 8, and it just doesn't make sense. Because then if you miss, then you definitely need a 2-point conversion just to tie the fucking game. Like, what is the thought process on NFL head coaches doing that? Like, what is the difference between getting it now or at the end? Going in down 7, boom. You're down 14, kick a field goal, you're down 7. Or you score a touchdown, kick the extra point, you're down 7. You get the ball back, you score a touchdown. Instead of kicking the extra point, go for 2 and win the game. What is the difference in going for it beforehand? I don't understand. And that's probably why there's so many teams with 2 fucking wins. So, I mean, it is hard to watch. I'm watching here, Minnesota and the Colts on 3rd and 16, going to get it on a trick play, by the way. That's how bad the league is right now. It really is. If you watch it, it's a bad league. It's a bad
league. It's a bad league for sure.
Is bad. I mean, the Lions, there's exceptions.
Yeah, there's exceptions, but Rafa, that everybody has been chatting and yapping about the QB play. It's been bad. Like, it's been really bad.
But there's expectations put on a lot of these young guys. And that's what, and then even the other guys like Geno Smith. Oh, watching Geno today has to be nobody should put themselves through that misery, to be honest with you. I watched them, and it was just hard to watch. I mean, oh my God, we're going to get a bullshit flag here sorry. Oh my goodness. But watching Geno today in the red zone, inside the 10-yard line, 2 interceptions. The first one was worse The first one was bad, and the second one might have been even worse. It was just so bad. The first one ended up getting returned for 103-yard interception return for touchdown. So
did you see Greg Olson's did you see what he explained, like how QBs are not getting under center?
Yeah, I heard it. And
yeah, let me share that.
Yeah,
with you
share that and we can.
So this is what Greg Olson had to say about it.
6 of the teams never one time lined up under center, never one time had 2 backs in the backfield, and never one time had a tight end. The best teams, they get under center. It's play action. The reason they're doing that is because it takes the stress load off the quarterback. So I think there is a developmental problem in the whole pipeline of quarterbacks from high school to college and then, of course, to the NFL. We want the entire game to be on their shoulders, and then we get mad when they can't handle it at 22 years old.
See, and I agree with what he's saying, and he was talking about younger kids. But when we watch college football, that's what they want. They want the whole shit spread out. They want the athlete. They want the Lamar Jackson a type quarterback. That's what they want, and that's what they're not going for the Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. They're Jaden Daniels. They're that Lamar. They're that style. And I've told you for weeks that the college football has made the impression on the NFL that some of these quarterbacks, mostly black, and it may sound racist, but it's just a fucking fact. When we look at the fucking numbers, it's just, there's plenty of white dudes that suck dick. I told you, Will Levis is atrocious. He's horrible. He is terrible. Will Levis is atrocious. Bo Nix is playing well, but he ain't that good, in my opinion. I mean, but his team has played well, and a lot of people can say his defense. But for the most part, it's these quarterbacks that they're making you take, that they're making you believe that they're good in these systems. I have to watch these guys on 4th and 1 take a quarterback sneak. They literally take the snap from shotgun. You're 5 yards back. You need a fucking yard. How about when we need a foot or an inch or inches, and you're taking the snap 3, 4, 5 yards behind you? At that point, you might as well run the fucking Wildcat. Go find Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams to run the Wildcat for you. At that point, I mean, it's bad. It's bad, but it's not only the shotgun guys. I mean, dude, there's plenty of bad play. I mean, Geno Smith convinced people for years. He convinced us 2 years ago that it was the Jets that were the problem. No, the problem is Geno Smith. Like, Geno Smith he shot his wad, okay? He shot his wad as Sam Darnold has done in the first. Sam Darnold, by the way, has 2 turnovers tonight so far. Sam Darnold, the first 5 or 6 weeks, shot his wad. Okay, Geno Smith shot his wad 2 years ago, and he made everyone believe that he's a good quarterback. Watching him today, that man's not a good quarterback. I'm sorry. That man, Jameis Winston.
You got to explain yourself.
He's not a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. They see, what the fuck do they see? Their decision-making is terrible. Like the ball today that he literally throws a ball, and I think it's 2nd and goal, and he throws a ball, or it might even be first and goal, and he gets blitzed, and he just kind of lobs the ball into the end zone. And it's not like in the back of the end zone. The man returned it for a 103-yard interception, return for touchdown, pick 6 on that ass, by the way. According to Tim Walsh, by the way, he calls the pick 6. So, but anyways, so that man just lobs it into the end zone there. And they showed the camera view from behind. I don't know what the fuck he was looking at. Then the other one, it's a blitz off the right side. The tight end's supposed to release. The tight end can't release, and he thinks he is, and he throws it right. He literally throws it, just dumps it right there, intercepted by the corner there, or it might have even been the free safety who's coming up on the tight end, and he picks the ball. Like, it was just bad. He had 3 interceptions. You watch Jameis Winston. Oh, and by the way, on the last drive that he had to tie the game, to tie it at 20, the Rams dropped an interception in a ball he forced into coverage, and he made a great throw to tie the game at 20, or to get the touchdown to then lead to the extra point inside the game. He made a great throw. But and I always say this about guys that have made the NFL as quarterback. I believe that all of them can make great throws at certain points at certain spots. I know they can all throw it. It's just the decision making that different, and not everyone's arm is equal. Obviously, not everyone can make XYZ throw in the same the same Aaron Rodgers can do it, or Josh Allen, or whatever, right? But they can all make it at some points, right? The decision making is what makes these guys different. And then obviously, different abilities, like Lamar's abilities insane, and Josh Allen, they're different abilities. But as far as throwing the ball, and decision making is key. Jameis Winston's decision making today was atrocious. It was disgusting. It really was. How do you get how do you inside of the 30-yard line going in on the Chargers, and you didn't get one fucking point until the last drive of the game? Like, you had a field goal earlier than that, and you had plenty of time to do work.
And so just so we can make it clear, because people are going to construe this a certain way, you're just saying that you see a tendency in black quarterbacks once they transition from college to the NFL, that
100%.
there is a deficiency.
100%. 100%. And I don't know what it is. And listen, there's exceptions. 100%. There's exceptions. There's bad quarterbacks on all racial lines. But when we're looking at the best quarterbacks in the league, the best decision makers, the guys that make the fewest fucking mistakes, it's Patrick Mahomes. Okay, he light-skinned, and white people claim him because he speaks like Kermit the Frog. Okay, so there's Josh Allen, there's Joe Burrow, there's Herbert, there's Lamar. Lamar is not a great thrower. They won today. They put up 41, and I said this last week. He had 19 pass attempts, by the way. 16 of 19. He threw for 3 touchdown passes. That's his game right there. That is his game. So don't give me this, Lamar is this, that. Lamar is what he is. If he has to beat you with his arm, he's not winning the game. That's a proven fucking deal. That's a proven deal. Jaden Daniels, he's phenomenal. It's early for him. His decision-making is very good. CJ Stroud, 2 of the last 3 games, he's been atrocious. And nobody wants to say it. Nobody's going to say anything about CJ Stroud because last year he was Cinderella, basically. But he was 2 of his last 3 games have been unwatchable. They've been unwatchable. Against the Jets and Green Bay. Unwatchable fucking games. But when you're telling me right now who are the best quarterbacks in the league, there is no doubt in my mind playing as the best quarterback playing this week is Josh Allen and Jared Goff. And Lamar's playing great, but he's not throwing great, right? And he's dynamic as fuck. Patrick Mahomes will always be Patrick. Patrick Mahomes always does what he does. But you have to look at Herbert. You really have to look at Herbert. And in the beginning of the year, they weren't really throwing. I think they're at 5-3 now, if I'm not mistaken. And Herbert is making, dude, he's making throws. He's making throws, and he's got a coach. And hopefully they what's that? 5-3. The Chargers are 5-3. Yeah, he's playing well. I mean, he's playing really, really, really well.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Rafa, but we have to. I've been seeing, so make sure for everybody that is ended up watching this, hit the description, hit the Two Nobodies subscription button. Make sure to follow Two Nobodies on YouTube. But on the Two Nobodies podcast on our page, there's hundreds of comments saying you guys are not respecting Lamar. You guys are looking over Lamar. I don't get it. It's Josh Allen or Jaden Daniels.
Well, it's clearly Josh Allen. As far as the MVP talk, and I said this last week on the Two Nobodies, and we posted it, and I got a bunch of hate, and I don't know shit, you fat fuck or whatever. I've lost almost 100 pounds, so go fuck yourselves. I was bigger than this. I was bigger than this, but anyways. But yeah, Lamar's been dynamic. Okay, they're 6-3. The games that they've lost, he's had to throw more, and the games that they've lost, with the exception of the Chiefs game, they've lost leads at the end of the game. At end of games, they should never lose a lead when they play the correct style that they should play. That's the strong point of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's strong point is throwing under 20 times and running the ball. And that's what Lamar himself running the ball, Derrick Henry running the ball, whoever it is, Justice Hill, whoever it is, them running the ball. That's what the Ravens offense, that's how they're effective. It's been proven in the games that they've lost. Like I said, with the exception of the Chiefs game, they've had a lead in every other game. Okay? And you saw it. The Chiefs game at the end, he needed to make a play. And what did he do? He missed Zay Flowers wide open, and he missed Lively the play before that. And then at the end, Lively's clearly out of bounds. But 2 plays prior, if he's a better fucking thrower, Lamar Jackson makes that play. If that's Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Russell fucking Wilson, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes. A list of guys make that play. Lamar Jackson does not. I'm sorry. Brock Purdy. A list of guys make that play. And like I said, Lamar is the most dynamic. There is no doubting that he's not dynamic. But they're at 6-3. Okay. Jared Goff's team is now, I believe, 7-1. Josh Allen's team might be 6-2. Okay. And yes, Lamar's team destroyed Josh Allen. They destroyed Buffalo. Okay. And that was at home. And Lamar played the game that he's supposed to play. Under 20 passes, under 21 pass attempts. Today, 16 of 19, perfect passer rating, 3 touchdowns. It's perfect because the threat of Lamar running the ball is the greater threat that the Ravens have compared to him throwing. Like if I'm preparing to play the Ravens, if I'm preparing, I'm only preparing for his running, not for his throwing. So if he's efficient and he's efficient in low volume, 16 of 19, 15 of 18. Those are the games that Lamar Jackson needs to be. He's the most valuable player on his team. He's not the most valuable player in the league. It's Josh Allen right now. He has fewer weapons than Lamar. They literally just got Lamar another receiver this week. Like, fuck, here you go. Yeah, let me give you another receiver. So, I mean, how many receivers is this guy going to have? And he's got a ton, and they're just giving him weapons, which is all great, fine and dandy, wonderful. But when we look at Josh Allen, so many few weapons. The interception, the game's 3-3 today. Interception comes off of Coleman's hands. That's not Josh Allen's fault. They get down in the game, whatever. They battle back. He puts a drive together. They get a roughing call there on Jordan Poyer, which was insane that he fucking just laid him out. That was stupid on his part. And he drives the field and gets in position for them to win the game. And they won the game. And Jared Goff is fucking 7-1. And they're beating teams. Like beating the shit out of teams. And Jaden Daniels, man, he's a rookie at 6-2. 6-2 with a team that I think in Vegas over-under might have been 4.5, 5.5. They're at 6-2. You're going to tell me that that's not more impressive than Lamar 6-3 with the roster that's being built for him? Like, I mean, are you kidding? Jason Bateman, first-round pick. Zay Flowers, first-round pick. Mark Andrews. Derrick Henry. I mean, the list is endless. That team, I think, is the best roster in the league. All they need is one defensive lineman.
It's not even close.
And it's not even close. I think that they were my pick to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to the AFC. I thought they were going to go before the season. I picked Bills and the Ravens in the AFC title game. And I had Niners, and I think the Niners or Eagles or Niners and Lions, or might be Niners and Cowboys in the NFC. But the Lions and the Bills the Lions are far and away the best team, and Jared Goff has to get MVP votes over Lamar. There's no way that Lamar should be coming in the top 3 this week up to this point. Jaden Daniels, you could say, oh, he's only got 7 touchdown passes, 9 touchdown passes, whatever. Dude, they're 6-2. They're 6-2, and he's done work. Like, he's done work. So don't discredit Jaden Daniels. He's definitely rookie of the year, but he's going to get some MVP votes for sure.
For sure.
That's 100%.
But I wanted to, since we're on the NFL, a retired NFL great, my NFL great, Jason Kelce, went through some things over this weekend trying to defend his brother and Travis Kelce. So before we get into it for the people, let me just show y'all what went down with Jason Kelce, because
I gotta see
it was not nice, but here it is.
Kelce. Hey, Kelce.
I just feel your brothers is back at
Well, they were lying.
Fist bump. Kelce, can I get a fist bump?
Yeah, that was that.
Okay, so obviously the guy who was yelling at him is not the guy who walked up to him with the phone, right?
Well, there was multiple people.
Right. But the phone that he broke, did the guy bump into him? Because that's not clear footage either.
Well, I think it was clearly the guy who was behind him talking. I think the guy whose phone he broke was the guy who called his brother a faggot.
Okay. I mean, listen, a word should never hurt you. I
Rafa.
mean, fuck. They're just. I'm sorry. They're just words. I can give a fuck. Like literally, if I cared about what people said about me, we wouldn't be posting any of these clips on the internet.
Right,
So,
Rafa. But okay, so let me just pose a threat to that argument. Let me just pose a threat to that argument. Okay. So we talked about it before the show started. I don't understand why people, and I'm talking about proverbial people. I'm not talking about you if you're watching. I'm not talking about me or Rafa. I'm talking about nobodies. General people in the past 8 years have had the audacity to wildly approach celebrities and famous people and talk shit to them and harass them and chastise them and feel like there's going to be absolutely zero consequences. When you're approaching somebody and just because they have a name or a brand, bro, they're still human beings. If you're calling his brother out of his name, and, and a bunch of people are around, he's going to stand on business. I would do the same thing if it was my brother. Like, I'm not going to say I would do the same thing because I wouldn't. At the end of the day, I wouldn't have reacted like he reacted. But, dude, there's got to be consequences for people just approaching celebrities.
Listen, at the end of the day, you can say whatever the fuck you want. This is a free country. The way
Correct.
you take it is different. Everyone takes it different. I don't think you should ever have. The only time you should ever hit someone or strike someone or touch anyone, period, in my opinion, is when they're threatening to do. If you feel threatened, did he feel threatened? No, he didn't feel threatened. Do you think he felt threatened? If you felt threatened, you're not going to grab a guy's cell phone and throw it into the ground. Like, listen, these people are rich and famous and all of that shit because cameras are on them 24/7. Because that's what it is. You chose that life. It comes with the money. Like, that's the part of it. The money part of it comes with it. So you can't get upset. Like, oh, people say, oh, your brother's a faggot. Well, you only got butthurt because you may think it's true. I think your brother might have been pregnant. So, I mean, that's just
you're trolling.
100%
trolling.
Of course I'm trolling. But if it bothered you, it's because it upset you, because you might have believed some sort of it or whatever. Or if it bothered you, and like if people talk shit to me all the time, and they talk to Eddie, they talk shit about Eddie and I all the time on social media, right?
Yeah.
And we have plenty of views, plenty of clips with fucking 1 million and 2 million views and 50,000, whatever, 8,000, 7,000 comments, whatever the fuck it is. And you're going to if you get mad every time someone talks shit about you and you went and tried to strike someone because of it, it's stupid. It really is. He had no right to touch the dude unless the guy touched him. If the guy
touched the dude, he just grabbed his phone.
It doesn't matter. The dude's phone was in his hand.
Property. Right. It was property.
So you're touching me. Like, the shit's in my hand, bro. So it's like you were touching me. So, like, at the end of the day, he had no right to do that, number one. And he's probably going to get sued for fucking assault because that's what it's going to come down to. The fucking court will rule it.
I would sue his ass, too.
Of course, 100%.
I'm on his side, but I would have sued his, run me my money.
I'm never on anyone's side who results to violence over words. I'm sorry. If people say bad shit about you, they say bad shit about you. But where is the threat? Where is the threat? Oh, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Okay. And if the guy gets closer and you see that he's going to, swing at you, then it's maybe different. But other than that, like, I don't see the point of it. Like, look, Joel Embiid yesterday, since we're on this topic of athletes, Joel Embiid yesterday, I guess got into an altercation with a journalist. It's like he said something supposedly, and I haven't read what it is. Supposedly he said something about his dead brother and his child or something. And I don't know how true that is, right? Because there's no actual footage of it. And then on top of that, the Sixers, a security team came in and tried to get all the reporters to kind of forget about it. But supposedly that he shoved a reporter. So why would there's no need to resort to that. Like, if the guy said something. What is CBS reporting?
CBS is saying that, I mean, at least the headline, Joel Embiid shoves reporter, 76-year star reportedly gets into altercation over story mentioning deceased relative. That's what CBS
right. And then what Eddie, my co-host on the Two Nobodies, or I'm his co-host on the Two Nobodies, he was telling me yesterday that he came out a couple days ago, and because I guess Philly fans were upset and he said, everything I've done for the city. Well, you might have done shit on the community end of it, but you haven't won nothing. So like, and Philly fans are ruthless. They might not give a fuck about you giving money to the poor or donating food. Like they want.
No, okay, but yeah, no. As a fan, I don't give a fuck what you're doing off the field. That's you as a person. I give a fuck about what you're doing on the court.
Listen. Like all these people all the time who are going to defend the athletes, and it's going to be normal, regular Joes and nobody's like us that are going to defend the athletes. Oh, they're human beings too. Yes, they are, but they're still fucking just words. That is the thing. They're just words.
This is true.
So the problem is that you make money off of the only reason that you're paid the handsome amount of money that you're paid to be an athlete is because of idiots like all of us who pay to watch them, whether it's on television, whether it's in an arena, whether it's in a stadium, whether it's on a field or a fucking pitch. Every athlete. So when they sit there and they get butthurt, oh, fans shouldn't say this and that and blah, blah. I'm not those type of fans either. I'm not, first of all, I'm not a fan of any team. I'm not going to go out and talk shit about a guy out on the field like, oh, fuck, you fucking suck, whatever, beat LA or whatever. I don't do that shit. But I do talk shit about them on here. Because not personally, I just about how bad they are as they're not as equivalent to other players or they made mistakes or whatever. Because that's what ESPN does. And that's why, we can all do it. And we do it more freely because we're not backed by anyone. But for you to attack anyone over words is just flat out fucking stupid. It really is. Like I've always been like that. Like people can tell me shit and whatever. You know what? I'm not going to get physical. Now, if there's a threat, right, where you feel it's a threat, then it's different. He didn't feel a threat with a reporter, and Jason Kelce sure as hell didn't feel threatened by a fucking cell phone. He was butthurt. And you know what? If you make all that money and you've made all that money and you have a problem with all this shit, get private security. Get private security like LeBron has, like Messi has, like all these people have. Get private security and they won't bother you. Make sure people are 20 feet away from you if words bother you that much. But and Embiid's situation was different. It wasn't with the fan. It was with a reporter. But still, at the end of the day, the reporter's doing his job. I don't know what question he asked him. If he asked him something about his dead brother, it obviously has zero fucking relevance to anything else. Unless he maybe asked him, are you taking some time off the floor because of the death of your brother? And I don't know anything about Embiid's brother, so don't even, when you clip this shit, make sure you put this part in, that I don't know anything about his brother when he passed. I don't even know if he passed recently or not. I don't know any about that shit. I'm just assuming, I'm trying to make sense of why the fucking reporter would supposedly ask that question. And I say supposedly because we don't have a confirmation that he actually asked that, and we can always assume that maybe he didn't ask it because, Philly security guard, the Sixers security team already tried to hide the fact that it happened with the people in there. So, but I don't know. But if words fucking hurt you, professional athletes, then I don't know. Fucking don't look at Instagram or TikTok and don't watch the news and fucking make sure you walk from your car to the arena and right back to your car.
Well,
don't go out in public
don't have a podcast with the brother that is dating the most famous person in the world who's highly
controversial. Exactly. And a woman who's super controversial on the other side because of her hypocrisy, which got me banned on TikTok.
Right. Got us banned on TikTok, son of a bitch. Anyways, let's move on, freaking guys. So we're going to keep in the football world. We're going to get on to the better football. By the way, Eddie Money, I know you're going to be watching this. College football is definitely better than the NFL. The product is so much better. But I'm going to play a little game with you. So we had the game of the week. It was a good game. It was a defensive game. Ohio State versus Penn State. And I want to ask you about whose stadium is better. This is a consistent thing that we're going to do every week until the national championship. And since we were at, Penn State, we're going to put Penn State up against the best college football stadiums in the country. So I got you. Happy Valley or the Horseshoe of Ohio State?
The Horseshoe. I mean, Happy Valley, like what advantage do you get there? This man can't beat Ohio State or Michigan in that fucking place.
Yeah.
So what,
it's like if it's not a whiteout, a
not,
night whiteout, it's not.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a night whiteout. You're not beating Ohio State anyways. James Franklin, you're 1-10. So, and God knows what you are against Michigan too. So, I mean, like, dude, listen, it's a horseshoe. I mean, when you have the stadium might be great and popping and all the good stuff, it's not helping you in these games. So,
Not at all.
It's just not helping you.
1-10. But
yeah,
this team got a big win over the weekend. Happy Valley or Husky Stadium of the Washington Huskies.
Oh, no, Happy Valley. Happy Valley. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's the Huskies, bro. They're not
All right.
good enough to. Yeah. No, Happy
All
Valley has history, man. There's
All right.
history there.
Happy Valley or Camp Randall, home of the Wisconsin Badgers.
Happy Valley.
For sure. For sure. Happy Valley or Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, home of the Oklahoma Sooners.
Happy Valley.
What?
Happy Valley.
Wow.
Oklahoma, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry. Oklahoma's been the Big 12 for so long. They played a bunch of nobodies for so long.
When they run out with
Yeah.
that damn with the pony on with the thing on the back.
Boomer Sooner, man. It's Happy Valley, man. The whiteout is special.
I like it. I like it.
The whiteout is special.
Happy Valley or Neyland Stadium, home of the Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh man, Tennessee, man. It's stadium is wild. I like that. You know, they match the colors and the whole nine, and they do the.
You're right.
It looks good. It looks good.
It looks good. It looks
Yeah,
presentable.
it looks
I like
good.
it.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like, but when they're not playing Georgia or Alabama, though, that stadium has nothing to it. I feel like only when they play those two teams, I feel like.
Well, a lot of stadiums have certain shit. Like LSU at night on a Saturday night's a lot different than fucking LSU at fucking 11 a.m. So
right.
I mean,
I get you.
or
But
noon.
all right, Happy Valley or the Coliseum.
Oh, dude, are you kidding? Happy Valley, get the fuck out of here. The Coliseum's full of homeless. It's fucking disgusting. They got jerseys up there because they can't even sell out the motherfucker. They got to block out. They got jerseys blocking out sections and shit like that. Stadium's old as fuck. You know what the Coliseum's good for? Fucking commercials. They film commercials in that place. Other than that, the Coliseum is trash.
No Bruins.
Yeah,
All right,
I don't know
Happy
that.
Valley or the Swamp.
Happy Valley.
What?
Happy
Rafa?
Happy
No
Valley.
way.
The Swamp hasn't
No
been the
way.
Swamp for a long time. The Swamp hasn't been the Swamp for a long time.
But it's the Swamp. Like you're okay.
It's not the Swamp anymore.
You got to think about these stadiums at their height. At their height.
If we're talking about at their height, the Swamp is definitely. Well, if we're talking about height, then the Coliseum is more of but the Swamp, I guess, in its height. I mean, the Swamp hasn't been the Swamp since Tim Tebow left. Like the Swamp has been, since Urban Meyer left. That fucking shit is not the Swamp anymore. It's just the Everglades, is what they should call it. That shit ain't the Swamp anymore.
That's hilarious. All right, Happy Valley or the Big House.
Oh, the Big House,
Mm.
man, the Big House.
Mm.
The Big House is the Big House, man. It's iconic.
Mm.
It's iconic.
All
Go Big Blue.
They suck.
Yeah, they do. They're very fucking bad.
Happy Valley or Autzen.
Oh, Happy Valley.
You're fucking nuts.
I'm
You're
serious.
Nuts.
I'm
Rafa.
serious.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
You have a thing with Autzen Stadium. Like you have this.
I do,
this
100%.
vendetta.
I do,
What
100%.
is it? Because it's proven time and time again that it is a thing.
It's not
As
a
Eddie
fucking
has said.
thing. Like, I don't feel like it's a thing.
Bro, I've been there.
What's
in
the
person.
biggest game played there?
What do you mean biggest game played there?
Give me a game there that you look forward to. What is it that you look forward to there?
Oregon versus anybody at this point. They're the Big Ten now.
No.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
at
we're
Happy
here.
Valley, we got a whiteout. You got a whiteout. And
Oregon is
fucking
just
at the
Autzen.
Horseshoe, you got the big.
It's
You got the
just
big
Autzen.
house, dude. There's no big games ever played there. Like the first,
my.
dude. Oregon State, Oregon. I'm
Ohio
sorry.
State just played them.
That's it. So I gotta have them better than a whiteout at Happy Valley because they just hosted Ohio State for the first fucking
Oh
time.
my god.
Like it just, dude. When you think of iconic stadiums, that isn't one. Like, oh, you remember that game played there? No, I don't. Hell no, I don't. No, you don't. And then they wear phenomenal. Their jerseys are the shit. But it's like, oh, on this night they're gonna have these jerseys in Autzen. That's not a fucking thing either. That's not a thing. I'm sorry. Happy Valley, whiteout at Happy Valley is top 5, top 3. There's no doubt
Oh
about
my
it.
gosh. All right. Happy Valley or Lane Stadium, the home of the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Dude, are you kidding?
Bro,
Listen,
no, Lane Stadium.
should- They're okay. What they're when the music comes on, I mean it could be, but it's just the
man.
whiteout is just something different. It just is.
But
I'm sorry.
when college football season comes around, like Lane Stadium, when it's jumping and they're in that incline, that's the first thing that they play. I remember
No,
this TikTok.
I
Look, let
know.
me show you this. I remember this TikTok. And
Let's
it was okay. This is funny. This is kind
play
of
the
funny.
TikTok.
I don't have it. I don't have it. It will take me forever
Okay.
to find. I'm explaining it. It's simple, but a lot of people know this. It was viral. But there was one video, and it was like in Syria. It was like in some Muslim country, and it was like hundreds of thousands of people chanting some Islamic, shit. And then it cut to college football, and stadium. It was like, this is America, and it's only for college football. And it showed the Virginia Tech Hokie Stadium. Like that stadium is crazy, man.
All right, it could be, but I still like the whiteout better because I think it's also a phenomenal fucking jersey. So that's
This is the
probably my.
fucking worst fucking jersey in college football. That
Are
shit's
you kidding?
garbage.
That's a top 3 fucking uniform.
Bro, it's white and blue. There's nothing on
Badass.
it.
That's perfect.
That's
Nice and elegante. Give
nice
me another
and
stadium. Give me another stadium.
Fucking Happy Valley or Tiger Stadium, home of the Clemson Tigers.
Tiger Stadium. That Debo running down that little fucking ramp, like it's different. I like it. Give me Tiger Stadium.
Bullshit.
Debo
Happy
wearing
Valley.
the purples.
Happy Valley or Kyle Field.
Move on. Come on.
Trash
Trash ass shit.
Trash
Trash ass shit.
Happy Valley or Sanford Stadium, home of the Bulldogs.
Oh, it's Happy Valley. It's Friday. It's the whiteout. It's what it is. There's no better. Listen, there's like 3 stadiums that are better. It's fucking Tiger Stadium, the Horseshoe, and fucking down on fucking Saturday night down in fucking Death Valley. Fucking
yeah, you ruined it. You ruined
That's
my
it.
list. You
That's
ruined my
it.
list.
Your list needed to be fucking shot down. Let's get off of the fucking college football bullshit stadiums.
Oh my gosh. So for people that have been watching to nobodies, you've been on this Ashton Jeanty hate train since the beginning of the season, and it has proven that now he's not the Heisman.
Well, people are gonna. I got a text from a guy today, Cowboys fan, who doesn't watch college football, and this is what I explained to him. Like, bro, you don't watch. Oh, he still ran for 150 yards, bro. The game was 35-10 at halftime. The kid, I think, had 42 yards or 44 yards. At halftime, he had he was averaging 2.4 yards a carry. Okay, and he was getting bottled up on 3rd and short. I mean, this is against San Diego State. So how can we even consider a Heisman? And this is what I keep saying. That man cannot be in the Heisman because the guys he plays against are fucking high school football players. It is a trash fucking conference. I've been saying it week in and week out. 35-10 at halftime. 42-10. He finally gets his first touchdown. I think make it, whatever. 48-10 or whatever. Or he might have scored. Dude, the game was over and he's still getting touches. Like, why is he still in there getting touches? Because they're trying to boost his numbers. That's how bad he looked. And he's playing against weak competition. It's not even close. We can watch Cam Ward. Cam Ward, what do you have? 5 touchdowns this weekend?
Correct.
5
6.
touchdowns?
6
touchdowns? Come on, man. And he's throwing the ball. He can run the ball a little bit. He's calm and cool and collective in the pocket. Like, there's
sounds
memes.
like Diddy glazing on a nice Saturday afternoon.
There's memes about Cam Ward's pocket presence, man. Like, he's just calm, cool, collective. I know he hasn't faced anybody great, right? But it's the ACC. At the end of the day, the talent in the ACC is superior to the talent in the Mountain West. And Jeanty did play against Oregon, and he had a hell of a game. That was in week 2, I believe. And Oregon wasn't playing as the number 1 team in the country at that time. Because we can't forget that the week before they barely beat, who was it, Idaho. So yeah, and they barely beat them. So Oregon wasn't playing at their best when he played them. I guarantee you, he played Oregon the next week or this week or last week, he probably wouldn't rush for 100. So there's no way that man is the Heisman. I've been saying it for weeks. But anyways, where Rafa was right.
Where Rafa was right.
So I'm usually wrong, but I was right that time.
Rafa, do you have a cut bet for college football this upcoming week? Do you have anything you like? Anything that looks nice?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I like Georgia. I still believe they're the best team in the country, and people will hate me for that because they say I'm an SEC homer bias. Blah blah blah. Georgia had a bad first half, and in the second half, you saw what Georgia can do. And Florida's not as bad as everybody thought they were going to be. I think we all thought they were going to be shit. Everyone thought they were going to be actual shit. They've competed in a bunch of games. I still think Georgia's the best. I still think Georgia's the best team in the country. I like Georgia this week on the road. They're 2.5 point favorites at Ole Miss. I will take the Georgia Bulldogs minus 2.5 at Ole Miss this weekend. If you want to bet it against me on Cut, KUTT, the code should pop out on the bottom. Use our code, 10% bonus on your first deposit. Check us out. Check out Cut, KUTT. It's a betting platform. You can use it in any state you bet against other people. So you want to create your own bet. You want to make it Ole Miss +7. You can put it in Ole Miss +7, change the odds. People can accept it. You'll get a message saying, hey, Robert 123 from Madison, Wisconsin accepted your bet, whatever. And that's who you're betting against. You can do it with friends. If you don't think they ever fucking pay you and you're still trying to collect $6 from the golf course, you can put it on there, figure it out, and Cut will do all the work for you. So KUTT, download the app, use the code Yappin, get you 10% on your first bonus, on your first deposit, 10% bonus. And I'm going to take Georgia minus 2.5. Give me Georgia against Ole Miss on the road.
I like it. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's legal in 40-plus states in the United States. Bet directly against your friends and other fans on sports, politics, pop culture, and other events. Fully customizable odds, plus much lower VIG. Cut handles the payment side of things, so you never have to chase anyone down for that moolah. Tons of social features, group chats, betting leaderboards, H2H history, and user profiles, rewards, get cash back for just betting against your friends. Use the code YAPPIN, YAPPIN. All right, Ralph. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I've been wanting to do it with you because you are a LeBron James lover.
I'm not a LeBron James lover.
No.
Let me defend
my
myself.
intro. No,
all right, go ahead.
Intro.
Go ahead. Do your intro.
Finish my intro. Because if you have not seen it, please go on the Two Nobodies Instagram. The shit has over 2 fucking million views, over 9,000 comments. Rafa is a certified U.S. national LeBron lover. And it's just LeBron lover on the court. I'll specify. LeBron lover on the court. He is a LeBron lover on the court. So I'll let you defend yourself before we get into it. I'll let you defend yourself. Go ahead and defend yourself. Go ahead.
Listen, I believe, and I've been watching the NBA as a child. Okay. I have NBA League Pass for the last probably 18 or 19 years. So I've watched LeBron James on random Monday nights in Cleveland, on random Wednesday nights in Cleveland. I've watched Kobe Bryant on a random Monday night in fucking Atlanta or whatever. Okay. I've watched all of these guys play. I love basketball. It is the sport that I watch the most, and I will watch any two teams any night of the week. That's just what I do. Okay. Last night I watched on my phone fucking Phoenix and Portland. Like, I love the NBA. And the NBA, in my opinion, and you know, it's when you get down to it, it's about 55-45 on this take. And then it's probably like 55, it's probably like 50-47, and you got like 3% for Kobe. I believe that LeBron James is the best basketball player to ever play the game. Overall, I'm talking about playing basketball. I'm not talking about, he's not the greatest winner. Okay? He's not the greatest shooter. But he's the all-time leading scorer. Well, he's played the longest. Yeah, but his level of consistency isn't Vince Carter's 20 years. Isn't Vince Carter into 40. Isn't Dirk into 40. It isn't those guys. It is an elite status from year 1 to year 21. He's been an all-star for 20 straight years. He's been an NBA all-pro for 20 straight years, I believe, or maybe 19. An NBA all-pro for those amount of years. Every fucking year that he's played, with the exception of his rookie season, he was an all-star. That his durability, I mean, it just all of that goes into being great. Is Tom Brady the greatest thrower we've ever seen? No, he's not. But he has the most championships, his longevity, all of that goes into being great. LeBron James's longevity goes into being great. And this is kind of an explanation that I've pretty much figured out that this is the way, this is how you know that the Michael Jordan thing is an era thing. And then everyone who from there on who wasn't in that era believes that Jordan, who hasn't seen him play, believes that Jordan is better because they hate LeBron. That is the actual fucking thing. Because there's guys that are 20 years old that'll swear that, oh no, Jordan's the best player. How? You never even saw him play. Like, you can go back and watch footage, and the only thing you're watching is footage of Game 6 against Utah, Game 5 against Cleveland, or Game 4 against the Cavs when he hits that shot over Elo. I think that was Game 4. Like, that's all you're watching. You're not watching him actually play the fucking game. And I'm not saying that Jordan was great, but Jordan was the first icon the NBA ever had. Just as Pelé was the first icon soccer ever had. Babe Ruth was the first icon baseball ever had. You know, for a long time, Gordie Howe was the first icon the NHL ever had. And people would struggle to name Gretzky the greatest of all time until it got to a point where it's like, okay, that's it. Like, his nickname is the Great One. He's the greatest. So I think when you stuck on that icon, and luckily there was no one alive to see Babe Ruth play, that no one who's alive now ever saw Babe Ruth play. Because if they did, they would be stuck on that. They would be stuck on Babe Ruth being the greatest player of all time.
Yes, it's the same. Yes, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's the same argument with fucking Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Is that it's the first. So when you see something else and that's great in a different way, you don't want to adapt to it.
Right. And LeBron was the first. I mean, Jordan was the first icon. Like, he's the most iconic basketball player ever. And he will always be the most iconic basketball player. In 50 years from now, he will still be the most iconic basketball player of all time. Shoes. He was the first one who was on TV on a nightly basis. The dunk contest, this, that. We've seen other guys dunk from the free throw line. Scotty did it right after. And he did it actually behind the line. Like, we saw a white dude, Brent Barry, fucking do it and win a dunk contest. Michael Jordan, he was 6-0 in the finals. John Havlicek was 8-0 in the finals. And when he retired, he was third all-time in points. When Jordan retired, what was he in points? Second or third? Like, basically, it's the same thing. It's just different eras, and one dude was white, and one dude you didn't watch play. Pelé was an icon. He's still, people will still believe he's the greatest player of all time, but we know it's Messi. Messi can go back. That's the thing. When LeBron can go back into that era and destroy everyone. Messi can go back to that era and destroy everyone. You take Ohtani, go and send him back 100 years, he will destroy everyone. Barry Bonds will destroy everyone. Those guys were probably throwing 70 miles an hour. You take Patrick Mahomes and throw his ass in the 70s, he's probably fucking destroying everyone as well. Dan Marino did it. And so, I mean, it's just, that's the thing about LeBron, is that people will never get over the Jordan thing because he was the first icon. Yes, he was 6-0 in the finals. Yes, he won supposedly Defensive Player of the Year. Now, you know, they think it's a LeBron back thing that they actually went through the stats and he really didn't win it. If we take a look at, I believe it's 2013, LeBron had ridiculous defensive stats, first team all defense, and yet I think it was Marc Gasol who won Defensive Player of the Year, and he didn't even make the all defensive NBA first team, and yet he was Defensive Player of the Year. But and the other thing was, when you see all these interviews with all these referees, there was a certain thing about Michael Jordan, and people talk about LeBron's flopping. Go and watch LeBron before 2015 or 2016. Before James Harden started flopping and all that shit, LeBron didn't. You can go back and watch it. The series against the Celtics, all the series against the Celtics and the Pistons, when he was with Cleveland and when he was in Miami, you never saw any of the flopping bullshit. You can go back and watch Jordan. There's videos of Rodman flopping on the Bulls. Jordan's crying to refs. Like, that shit's always been a thing. It's just that now you have social media, so you have and there's way more cameras on the court. So now you see LeBron bitching and crying for every fucking thing. Well, of course, he's fucking 39 years old, number one, but he's elite as fuck. And on the basketball court, he's phenomenal.
One of Michael Jordan's most famous videos is him literally having a conversation with the ref, complaining about a call. Like it's one of his most famous videos ever. Like I get it.
That's a famous one on the internet. I mean, the most
Right.
famous
But
video
still,
of him hitting the shot off of Bryant Russell, which could have been called offensive foul, but it wasn't.
I'm saying, but one of his most famous videos that's on the internet is him having that conversation. Like it's hilarious. Like the ref is like, "I believe you, Mike. I believe you."
Oh yeah, of
Like
course.
it's hilarious.
And there's guys that go back and will say, "Oh, this, Michael, the league set up certain things for Michael and blah blah blah, and they had to give him all these accolades." And listen, he was well deserving. He was a phenomenal. He was my favorite player growing up. He was my favorite player growing up, and when he retired, my favorite player became Shaq. And even when Jordan returned, my favorite player was still Shaq. So and as you go on after Shaq, and I love Charles Barkley as well. Could Charles Barkley play in the NBA today? People think he can. He's a 6'5" guy or 6'4", maybe even 6'6", supposedly. Even today, he's probably sitting at 6'4". But he was a 6'6" guy who was overweight, and Philly almost cut him as a fucking he had an issue when he was drafted, by the way, because he was fucking overweight going into rookie camp in Philadelphia. But most of you guys won't know that because you don't fucking watch the NBA, but yet you still think Michael Jordan's better than LeBron James. So there's no way in hell that any of those guys could compete. The league is way more talented. There's so much more talent. Any guy can cross over. Any guy can dribble behind the back. Any guy can elevate, but Jordan did it before anybody. And actually, George Gervin and Dr. J were all over. But the league didn't have. They had different things. Jordan, the NBA went Magic and Bird, and they lifted the NBA. And the NBA needed another player to keep that rise, and that was Michael Jordan. And he was great, but on a basketball court, in terms of playing a basketball game with all the different abilities to rebound, to pass the ball, to defend, to block shots at the basket, to understand the fucking game of basketball, LeBron James is the best. And you can go back and listen to Mateen Cleaves, and there's so many guys that Jeff Teague, there's Rajon Rondo, there's a ton of guys that will tell you this man knew what we were doing while we were trying to run it. And he's like, and watch those videos. Watch those videos. Nobody's ever done that. Kobe was, he was a better killer, supposedly, blah, blah. Look at the stats. Look at the clutch minutes, and look at in the last 2 minutes of a game, all of that. People don't consider any of those things. They just remember Kobe hitting game winners. They don't remember him missing shots. That's the thing. So for me, it will always be LeBron, and I don't see anyone coming that is that good and will be that good for that long. That's my opinion.
All right. So getting into that, I wanted to play a little Would You Rather. Who you got? Kobe Bryant edition.
Kobe Bryant edition. Oh, we got to post this.
Oh, yeah, we posting this shit.
Oh, we posting this one. All right.
We posting this shit. All right. Kobe Bryant or Kevin Durant?
Kobe Bryant. And I love Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant. I think he's the second best shooter of all time. And I believe he's one of the 3 best scorers of all time. Kobe was more of a Kobe, you can take Kobe's killer aspect of it into it or whatever. Mamba mentality bullshit, they call it. Kobe was that. Kobe was definitely that, and Durant's not that. And Durant's had his issues, and he joined the Warriors I thought he shouldn't have, because but most of you idiots wouldn't understand about the NBA. At that point, the Thunder made the correct trade to get Victor Oladipo, which is the piece that they needed to be able to guard Klay Thompson, because he's the one who killed them in Game 6 and 7 of that series that the Thunder blew to the Warriors. And they made that trade, and then Durant left anyways. So, but it's definitely Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Kareem, top 3rd best player of all time. They changed rules in college because of him. Like, you can't dunk. They can't dunk no more. So no dunking.
Kobe Bryant or Wilt Chamberlain?
Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. Wilt Chamberlain played when there was 2 black dudes, him and Bill Russell. Get the fuck out of here.
Kobe Bryant or Hakeem Olajuwon? R.I.P.
Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant or Shaq?
Oh man, Shaq, because Shaq won 3 Finals MVPs while playing with Kobe. Like, Shaq, the reason that Kobe was able to do those things so early in his career and was because of Shaq and build that confidence and take those shots. And because at the end of the day, Shaq, the team was still on Shaq's back. And so, Shaq for me over Kobe.
Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan?
This is close. I'm going to take Kobe, though. I'm going to take Kobe. But Tim Duncan, four titles, but not enough finals MVPs. I mean, Tony Parker, an MVP. I think Ginobili might have won one. I know Kawhi won one. So I think Ginobili won one. I know Tony Parker for sure won one, and I know Kawhi won one. So, I'm going to take Kobe.
Kobe Bryant or Larry Bird?
Oh, Larry Bird. There's no doubt in my mind that if Larry Bird doesn't hurt his back, Michael Jordan never. If put it this way, if Larry Bird played 15 seasons, because I think Larry Bird played 12, maybe 11. Yeah, you can fact check that. But I think if Larry Bird plays 15 seasons, I don't think Michael Jordan wins the title until he's done. Michael Jordan never beat the Celtics, never beat Larry Bird in the playoffs, like never beat them. So he didn't win a series. He didn't beat the Celtics, period.
All right. Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson?
Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's the greatest Laker of all time. Like, how can Kobe even be considered the greatest player of all time? He's not even the greatest Laker of all time. It's definitely Magic. Magic's the best Laker of all time.
Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Kobe. Michael Jordan only because he was 6-0 in the finals with 6 finals MVPs. And because he has the 6. And Kobe won 5 titles, but he only won the MVP twice. That means he was only the best player on his team twice, in my opinion. And I think that's the one award of all the MVPs as far as like World Series MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Stanley Cup Finals, which I don't know what the award's called. That's the one award, the NBA Finals MVP. In my thoughts on it are that is the one award that it is given to, without a doubt, the best player on the team. You're playing in a 7-game series. You need to win 4 games. In the World Series, it's usually not the best player on the team in baseball because the guy can get hot. But in the NBA Finals, you cannot afford for your best player to not be hot for 4 fucking games, right? Like, it's just, that is my thoughts on it, which is why I don't respect Curry when people say, oh, the Warriors and this and that. Like, I don't give Curry that respect because he's got 4 titles. He has 1 Finals MVP. Like, LeBron was so good that the guy who guarded him in the finals won the MVP. Like, that's how good he was. So, and I think that happened 2 years in a row, by the way. So, because I think Kawhi won the MVP, the finals MVP the year before that. And then Andre Iguodala won it the year after that, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the one knock. So that's the difference with, because Kobe did what Jordan did offensively. Kobe just took it to I think a little bit of a higher level, a more skilled level, you could say. But the fact that Jordan won 6 finals MVPs, being the best player every time he was in the finals, Kobe was not the best player in this finals every time. So,
and I got to put it in there for a clip's sake, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James.
Man, it's not even close. That's just my opinion. It's not even close. Kobe, yes, he won 5 titles. Kobe's not even close in any actual offensive category. So, I mean, he's just, he shot more. He scored. He has more. I think he has more points per game. I'm not even sure. But it doesn't even matter. It's not even fucking close. So, at the end of the day, it's definitely LeBron James. LeBron James is the GOAT, whether you guys like it or not.
I like it. I agree. LeBron is the GOAT. But getting into our last, well, not our last section, but our political section of the show, people went nuts over Tony Hinchcliffe in this Donald Trump rally. And I just don't understand why.
Okay, so actually, let's make it our last clip of the show because we're going to be live on Tuesday night for the election, by the way. So let's just end it with the election if we can.
Okay.
And so we are, it is Sunday, November 3rd. We are 2 days away from the election. November 5th, Tuesday, November 5th is the election. And so listen, the clip of him calling Puerto Rico a floating, trash or whatever it is, right? The joke sucked, first of all, because I don't think he's funny. The joke sucked. There was meaning behind the joke. And the meaning behind the joke is that 85% of Puerto Rico's landfills are overflowed, and they have 3.5 million tons of trash every year, while they only have 3.2 million residents. So it's like each resident is throwing away over a million, over a ton of trash a year. So that's what he referred to. It was a bad joke. Number one. Number two. What the fuck is the campaign not going over what this idiot? And by the way, to bring in a roast comedian, because he's a roast comedian.
Yes.
He's not Jeff Dye or
exactly.
There's different comedians. He's a roast comedian. That's what he does. If the Democrats would have brought him in, he would have done the same shit. He's a roast comedian. That's what he is. You should have never brought him into the campaign. Like he should have never been there. And then on top of that, you do it in the state with the most Puerto Ricans in New York, right? And it's just stupid, and it was bad. Whoever the campaign manager should have gone over his speech or over his jokes and just cut that one out, because number one, it wasn't funny. Number two, he's a roast guy. Roast dudes, they have zero boundaries. There is no boundaries for roast guys. He roasted Kevin Hart and at Tom Brady. I mean, he did Tom Brady's roast, and he fucking talked about Jews and blacks and all sorts of shit. He has zero filter. That's what roast comedians do. You never bring a roast comedian onto a campaign. And it shouldn't have been done. And the media is, of course, making a bigger deal than what it is. And but Biden came out and said how Trump supporters were garbage. And then the media comes out and says, well, no, it was misconstrued. He wanted to say this and he wanted to say that. And then that's it. The coverage is over. But yet we're still talking about this. And so, the problem that I have too is, for example, with Nicky Jam, who's a reggaeton artist from Puerto Rico, but he lives in Miami and he's got another house in Colombia, and who knows how many times he actually goes to Puerto Rico. And he came out and he was supporting Trump. And then he came out and he made a video, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but he said something along the lines of, well, I was supporting Trump because of this, and this. Okay, that's why you're supporting him. But I can't support him now because of this joke. So you are taking your support over everything that you believe in over some dumbass joke that Trump's campaign right away came out and said, oh, we don't stand by what he said, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and of course, people are going to take, because there's always a double standard with Democrats and Republicans. There's always a double standard. There always has been. We have to now listen to Usher, who was fucked by Diddy probably, and he probably did some fucking. We got to listen to J-Lo go up there. A woman, you want people, this is how stupid people are. You want to listen to a woman that's been married I don't know how many times, was together with Diddy for how many years. You're going to tell me she wasn't part of any of these fuck parties with Diddy, but that's who you want people to listen to? You sent Cardi B out there. Cardi B, you sent her out there, and then her teleprompter goes out, and she's fucking clueless. And these are the people that you're sending out there, but there's no coverage on those people. Okay, the Diddy is a huge Democrat. It just gets washed under the table. Harvey Weinstein at the White House with Oprah, with Obama, with Michelle, with Michael Obama, with all the fucking Obamas, all three versions of the transgender Michelle Obama bullshit. But Harvey Weinstein gets wiped under the rug. It's just forgotten about. There's always a double standard. And I said this back in like 2018. Trump can literally jump on top of a bomb in front of the CNN building in Atlanta, and they will look to say that he planted the bomb himself. That's how narrow-minded they are. And when you're watching these commercials of Kamala, and all you hear is, oh, because Trump wants to do this and he wants to do that. Well, listen, the abortion thing, Trump's already said it many times. He's going to leave it to the states. Kamala's the one who wants to control the states. She wants to control the abortion thing. But you guys, what people forget to understand, and this is what people don't get. The general election is very important for our world and for the way we stand, the way we look, and the way we're looked upon in the world, right? And dealing with wars and not getting into more wars and making sure that we're being treated fairly in deals with NATO and trading, etc. Okay, but your state election is more important than anything else. Okay, there's only certain things a president can do. Your state election is super important, and people forget about it. And the Democrats always win with their bullshit policies, like in California, where they literally voted to repeal a gas tax, and they still somehow didn't repeal it. Like it was still passed the second time around. Like, it makes no sense. So pay attention to your ballot. You want to vote for Kamala and ruin the rest of the country? Fuck it. I mean, it is what it is. You feel that she's the better person because you think the abortion thing is a big deal. It doesn't matter if she gets elected. She's not going to change the law in Mississippi. She's not going to change the law in Alabama. She's not going to change the law in Texas. She's not going to change the law in any of those states. She cannot. That's just plain and simple. Trump can't come in here and do it either. Please understand that. But she's out there saying that. The whole Project 2025, nobody even knows what the fuck that is. Okay? Only Democrats know what the fuck that is. Okay? And naive Democrats that don't even want to actually do work and pay attention and do some homework and see what it is. So come Tuesday night, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little scared about Tuesday night. Because I see all these people, and Usher comes out about a month and a half ago, I think it was, on The View, and are you going to support Kamala? And listen, and he says, everyone's right to vote, and I don't get involved, and blah blah blah. All of a sudden, Diddy's arrested. Now all of a sudden, this man's presenting Kamala and wherever it was, I don't know, Cleveland or wherever the fuck it was, and he's presenting her. What changed? What changed, Usher? Did Diddy change? Did the videos there about Diddy and there's shit going on there. So all that has changed. And it's like, we need to take control and make sure all this happens so we can keep all this shit under wraps. For years and years and years, Hollywood has been raping women, fucking little kids, and raping men and women, actually. And it just gets swept under the rug because they support the Democratic Party. And everyone just wipes their hands with it. And the Harvey Weinstein is the most telling. The Me Too bullshit. Me Too, Me Too. Me Too what? You're still voting for them. This man is friends with Obama's. You still voted for his ass. So I'm nervous, but excited, eager for Tuesday to get here.
And we're going to be live, baby.
We're going to be live on Tuesday night, 7 p.m., an hour before the polling closes in California. And they will have closed by then in most of the country. And we'll do live updates we'll get CNN's feed, we'll get Fox News' feed, Newsmax, all those, and we'll have all the feeds and we'll get it going. And, just go out and vote. Make sure you vote for your propositions. Understand your propositions. Understand your congressmen and if you're voting for state senate or whatever, understand those because those are more important at the end of the day. Those are more important to you than other things. Like in LA, don't vote for Gascon again. He's literally done things where the crime rate is through the roof. So,
yeah, for sure.
But that's my take.
Well, that's all I got for you, man. That's all I got.
All right, brother. So that's another episode of Yappin. Tune in, subscribe. Tune in also on Wednesday nights to the Two Nobodies podcast. Subscribe to the Two Nobodies podcast. Subscribe to the Yappin podcast. We do giveaways, Christmas time, March Madness, we'll have a giveaway. So tune in, check us out. Wednesday nights live, Two Nobodies, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.